Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm conducting the third part of the video on how to use Microsoft Office PowerPoint and the final part. And in today's video, we're going to talk about some more inserting options and how to add visual effects to our slides. So before we start, please watch the video till the end. Don't forget to like, share, and comment to the video. And please do subscribe and press the bell. So let's start. So as we had left our people like this, so let me show you the slide first. Slide. This is the second slide, which shows introduction. This is the third slide, and this is the last. So basically, in our last video, we learned about inserting pictures and adding backgrounds to our slides. We also learned about the alignments. So now we are moving on to some new inserting tips. So for that, basically, you first need to open a slide. Now we go to the insert. Today, in the insert tab, apart from pictures, there are more two important parts of the insert tab, which are table and shapes. So first, let's go to the easy one, which is shapes. So as you see, there's an option called shapes, and arrow below, and click on this arrow, and there are a variety of shapes over here. So I choose just one shape for now. Now you just need to click and the diamond below, and just hit the mouse. So you can make it bigger. Change its position. And just when you want to remove it, just click on the diamond and then click on the backspace option in your key. It gets removed. So there are plenty of more options over here. But right now, let's move on to the next topic. So next is, as I said, table. Table is also very helpful when you have to add a name list or maybe so a list of something. It gets pretty easy when you let's just see table and click on the arrow. Now here you see there are grids over. Now the grids, when you move your arrow sideways, they show the columns, and when you move downwards, it shows the rows. So now this way, when you drag your mouse, you select the number of rows. Right? When you are dragging your mouse, the boxes turn orange, have an orange outline. So like I'm dragging my mouse is right now down. See, I selected 5 boxes to draw. Now, if you notice a number, how many number of boxes or rows selected, it will appear over here at the top where insert table is. So I selected 5. Now let's go to the column. I guess 2 would be enough. So I selected this one. See, now you first need to go to the design tab to change its design. Now a table appears in a slide according to the slide background. And suppose the slide background is brown, like a pink stripe, so this appears to be brown. Choose this one. Layout is all about the table. Like we want to delete the table, we want to insert a row above by which see above 4 rows. Insert below, down 1 place, insert left, 1 more column place. See? Now same way to erase max, select and next. So next. And it's another way of adding a table, which is except for selecting the grid, you have to something called insert table. Now it's pretty easy. So for that, you just need to enter the number of columns by clicking this arrow. If you click the upward arrow, the number gets higher. If you click the lower arrow, the number gets smaller. It's a decrease. So number of columns I want to 2, and number of rows also 2, or else I can change it to 3. Now let's do it. And make it work. See, I think this way is a lot more easier than the other way. So I would prefer this way for good answer. Now moving on to another part of research, which is textbooks. Now this is really important. Sometimes we already have 2 text boxes in our slides, which are click to add title, click to add subtitle. But sometimes it happens so that the slides do not allow any more text to be entered there. So we may need to write something more. So for that, you can use a text box. And how do we use a text box? A text box is another way of typing things which don't fit in your click to add title and click to add subtitle. So let's click on text box. See, now this arrow appears over here. Now my mouse turns into an arrow pointing down. You just need to click somewhere and this plus appears and drag. When you will draw this will appear to be this thing. But as you start typing your text, it will get bigger according to the size of your text. Again, we can give colors to this box. Like we need to go to the format tab. Now, how do you open the format tab? Whenever you make a box or select a text box, the format tab automatically opens over here. So I click on it. Now I have this borders over here. And I also have colors. Okay. Let's try typing something. Okay, type rubbish. See, it's working. So I hope the insert tab thing was clear. Let's look at shapes, table, and text. Now, moving on to the most important part of slides, which is adding visual effects. Now, visual effects is mostly added during office PPTs or maybe school presentation. So it makes the slide visually more beautiful. So let's see how to do that. Now, first, we need to apply some effects to our slides. Go to the first slide. Next, I'll select this option beside design, which is known as transition tab. I'll open transition. Now here are a variety of effects that you can add to your slides. All you need to do is click on this arrow with the brush. You see there are many over here. So next, let me show you an example. Like there's an option called fracture. Let's click on it. See, the glass breaks as if that happens. Or maybe let's try peel off. I hope this was clear. So there are plenty of like origami maybe. So let's add some to each of the slides. I'll add purchase with it. This makes it more presentable. Next, I'll do follow. Then box. And lastly, see, now this looks more beautiful actually. Now, let's make this more beautiful by adding some effects to the text. Now, let me explain you. When we add effects to the slide, it makes it look beautiful. But if you notice, only the slides are changing with the beautiful effects, but nothing's with the text or the picture. So there's a way of adding animations to the text or the pictures, and there's another tab to using that, which is not the transition. Beside transition, we have a tab called animation. So let's go to that. First, now see, these are all gray. Whenever something is gray and not black in color, understand that you are not allowed to use them. But right now, there's a way of using this. I first need to select the text. See, it's automatically turned green. Now, I will first select the text. the introduction first. Introduction. And I have just plenty of options. Like, let's start with random ones. See, pretty amazing. Now, there's one thing you need to know about this is that whichever text you select first to add a transition or animation, that text will show first. Like I first selected introduction. Then when I'm presenting it to others, the introduction part will show first, then the other transition goes. Like let's go to balance. See, so now if you notice, when you add a transition, the number appears. Like this is the first animation which I added. So 1. This is the second animation which I added. So 2 as a whole. Now third I want to apply it to the pictures. See. Now let's do that with other slides too. The first slide I will come. Heading, let's go right. And this one, let's go fit. The last slide. Now again we have this animation. And now one thing I would like to suggest is the animation bar has 3 categories of animation, which is entrance, emphasis, exit, and motion path is something which is not always used. And I don't think it works usually. I would always suggest you to use entrance because emphasis and exit and motion paths often create problems. Now, there are many more options of entrance which are not here. So for that, let's go to more entrance. We have a green star over here and more entrance over here. See, there are more over here. So, veg maybe. Yeah, so, and now, so this one. So there's a way of identifying which is an emphasis or which is an entrance, which is an exit. Entrance animations are always green in color, emphasis are yellow in color, and exit are red in color. So now it's all ready, but there must be a way of viewing it in a proper way. That is the most important part of the presentation. So what can we do for that? Beside animation, we have slideshow. So slideshow we go. Now we have the option called from the beginning. So I'll select from the beginning. See, this turns on. Now this is blank. How will that appear? Remember, whenever we add a transition and are doing the slideshow, the page will turn out to be blank. We need use some settings to bring them along with the animations. For that, you have your mouse. And I'll just click on this. See, and there is also here are 2 arrows which you can use. There's the arrow for going next and this for previous. See. Another way is in your keyboard, if you notice, there are 4 arrows, one to the top, one to the below, one to the right, one to the left. So the one showing to the left is the arrow to go next. Right, to go back. See? Now maybe you are teaching this to someone. So for that, we have this option called pen. You need to mark some places. We have this pen option over here. I'll click on this pen. Let's see what it is. We have a laser pointer, a pen, a highlighter. Let's use ready. Choose it. And I want select into it. Now we can also erase it. We have something called erasing. So, on, let's see the other slides. After the last slide, when you create this arrow, this black screen appears. Now, how to close it? In your keyboard, if you see there's an option called ESC with a lock sign at the top. So I will click on ESC. Now, one more thing. Supposingly, in a slideshow, there's another way. Just there's another way of ending the slideshow. Whatever makes sense. Just need to click once with that. Anything. Now, from the beginning, there's one option of using a slideshow. From current slide. From current slide means the slide which is selected right now. Right. First, discover the character is a slide which has selected right now. So when we click on from current slide, this slide shows up first. So this is all for today, and our total course of how to use Microsoft PowerPoint is done. I hope all the 3 parts were very much clear to you, and I also hope that you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.